Since the largest ever recorded in Eurasia, which killed 150 million people and destroyed the region in which it occurred, spacequakes have shaken the world. Japan was no exemption for this. However, individuals at last got back to their ordinary lives in the midst of the steady danger of spacequakes event. Among those is Shido Itsuka, who lives with his enthusiastic, more youthful sister, Kotori. They both promise to meet at a nearby family restaurant despite the fact that someone is stalking him as they head to school one morning after learning of a minor spacequake. Shido meets that stalker at Raisin High School, and he introduces himself as Origami Tabichi, the class genius. Soon after, a spacequake emergency alert was broadcast throughout the city, prompting people to use the latest technology to help them evacuate. A good portion of the population will soon be safe underground. Shido, on the other hand, learns that Kotori's GPS location still points to the family restaurant. Shido goes out to get her out of fear for her safety, but on his way, he is swept away by a spacequake that destroys most of the buildings around him. In the cavity brought about by the spacequake, a young lady seems wearing an extravagantly beautified covering. The young lady in purple protective layer faces Shido, inquiring as to whether he will kill her. A number of flying units descend on Shido before she can respond. And the one in the middle launches a missile attack on the enigmatic girl. Nonetheless, the shielded young lady uses her edge and invalidates the assaults against her. Not excessively lengthy from that point forward, an assailant came down to battle her. And she and Shido immediately perceived one another, the last option ending up being, in all honesty, Origami Tabichi herself. Before long, Origami gets ready to battle the young lady in purple covering utilizing an energy sword, and the fight releases a strong shockwave that at last takes Shido out. Soon, Shido discovers that Rain Murasame, a woman dressed in military garb, is keeping an eye on him. Rain lets Shido know that he is on board the Fraxinus, the vessel of the Ratatosker, after he passed out in the fight. Rain took Shido to the bridge after she realized that he was asking more questions than she could handle. There, Shido learned that Kotori, his younger sister, is the captain of the Fraxinus. As Kotori makes sense of the circumstance about the baffling young lady prior, whom she calls a soul, Shido sees that Kotori appears to have something else entirely than previously. Kotori essentially disregards it. And she continues to make sense of what a soul is, in addition to other things. Kotori makes sense of that spirits are extraordinary creatures who make spacequakes after showing up on the planet, no matter what their will. Second, the AST, or Anti-Spirit Team. A task force tasked with combating spirits that manifest on Earth, attacked the spirit earlier. Thirdly, Shido is the person they need to defeat a spirit without actually killing it. Shido is requested by Kotori to resume his normal life. Be that as it may, Shido requests a greater amount of his inquiries to be responded to which Kotori consents to. Kotori reveals that shortly after breaking up with Shido, she actually left her phone at the family restaurant. They are currently at a height of 15,000 meters above sea level, in the sky above the void created by the previous spacequake. The following day, Rain Murasame joins Raisin High School's faculty. While introducing herself as the new physics teacher, she makes quite an impression before falling asleep. Later, Shido confronts Rain and Kotori regarding this and Rain's transformation of the biology room into her own laboratory. Rain feels that it is really smart for somebody from Ratatosker to look after him, while Kotori has previously taken care of her center school training. Before long, Kotori requests that Rain give Shido a gander at the preparation module he would use for planning himself as the most up-to-date weapon against the spirits who manifest on the planet. When the module completes the process of stacking, Shido finds that the preparation module is a visual novel intended for him to figure out how to make a soul go gaga for him. In the interim, Origami gets together with Shido and faces him about their unforeseen experience during the fight with the soul the other day. Origami advises Shido to disregard the occasions that occurred among her and the soul. Shido before long gets some information about the soul, and Origami lets him know that she needs to manage them as she was stranded after a soul killed her family quite a while back.